I've got another question here from a conversational hypnosis practitioner. Really interesting one. I constantly run into potential clients that keep asking me how I will help them fix their problems. And it's so hard for me to explain without sounding like I just made this stuff up. And I tell them to fix themselves, which I obviously do. And I think that I'm losing tons and tons of sales because I'm not explaining it in a way that's convincing. What do I do? Great question. I keep my explanations very, very simple. If a client asks me how we're going to work together, what we're going to do, how am I going to fix them, the first thing I say is, I'm not going to fix you. I'm literally not going to fix you. My job is to work with you to help you find your own solution. And I use a metaphor of a Sherpa. A Sherpa, for those of you that don't know, is a guide that will help you find the best route up a mountain. Now, the Sherpa will do his best or her best to get you to the top of the mountain, but they can't do the climbing for you. They can check your kit and they can check the weather, etc., but they can't do the climbing for you. And it's the same with hypnotherapy. For hypnotherapy to have a long-lasting effect on you, you have to come up with your own solution, which is buried deep inside your unconscious. And that's why, as conversational hypnotherapists, we don't tell you what to do. We don't give you suggestions or instructions or process orders. We don't do that. We guide you because you've got this huge, almost unlimited amount of resources inside you that you can use to deal with any particular problems that crop up. And that's what we do. So when a client comes to me and goes, Paul, how are you going to help me? First thing I say is, right, okay, it's not my job to fix you. We're going to work together. We're going to explore to find the real solution to what's going on. And we do that by having a simple conversation, during which time you will go into trance. And then often the response will be, trance? What's trance mean? And then I'll say something like, have you ever daydreamed? Have you ever been sat in your office and suddenly gone, and you come back into the world and you realize that 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes have disappeared. And quite often the client will go, yeah, I've done that lots of times. And I say, well, that's a trance. You've just gone somewhere. Basically, you've let your unconscious mind take over and dream and ponder, wander, or just create some space. That's what trance is. And that will happen. Sometimes your eyes will be closed. Sometimes your eyes will be wide open. Sometimes you'll just be there. That will happen during the conversation. And during that process, I will help you find the root cause of the problem and deal with it. And my job as a guide is to help you create what we call unconscious moments so that you can go into this daydream or trance mode. Oh, right. Okay. So that's how it works. Yeah, it is that simple. It really is. There's no need for complicated neuroscience definitions or biological, how the brain works stuff and the difference between the subconscious, the unconscious, and all the rest of it. You don't need any of that. My suggestion is, if you're having difficulty explaining how conversational hypnosis works, just keep it really, really, really simple. You come in, you sit down, we have a conversation, you go into trance, and then I help you find the root cause of the problem. We help you, we help you to help yourself deal with that problem. And when you're ready, you come back out and the problem has resolved. Then I will do some testing to make sure we've got all the little bits and pieces attached to that problem resolved. If not, we'll do a little bit more work. And then once we're completed, Bob's your uncle, we're done.